The Lean Startup methodology was first proposed in 2008 and is actually from high-tech startup companies. And it was proposed by Eric Ries and is from a best-selling book in 2011. It was proposed for high-tech startup companies because of so many failing high-tech companies that startup companies that fail, because they take so much time in R&D and millions upon millions of dollars, all to develop a product that then they bring to the public and they say, here you go. Do you want it? And they hope that they've come up with something people like. And the main concept behind the lean business concept is to fail fast and continuously learn. And I think this is something that a lot of out-of-school time programs kind of unconsciously do out of necessity, but I think it's something that is really interesting to think about doing on purpose and to really think about as a great business concept to leverage in your out-of-school time program. So the idea behind the lean startup is that 75% of startups fail. And so really the value behind a lean startup is that experimentation is greater than elaborate planning, and that you really need to think about repetitive and iterative design and really getting customer feedback rather than doing a big design up front and relying on your intuition, but really thinking that the customer knows best. And like I said before, really thinking about failing fast and continuously learning. It was created for small startups, but a lot of big companies are using it too. So for example, GE is a big proponent of the lean startup method at this point in time. There are three principles within the lean methodology. First, there's the business model canvas, and it basically summarizes the hypothesis that you have to accept that all you have on day one is a series of good guesses, that really your customer knows best, and you need to remember it within that framework. Next, there's customer development. So go out and ask your customer what they want, and then you need to revise based on that. And finally, there's agile development. So make small changes as you go through customer development, really thinking about what they want and making sure that you're meeting their desires. So let's bring this in to out of school time, thinking about who are your customers. So you might be thinking to yourselves, my customers are a lot of different people. And I would like to argue that there are a decent number of customers who you likely need to cater to. I'd first of all say the kids. I would say the parents, your community, your staff likely, your board of directors, maybe your funders. There are a lot of different people. But in this instance, I'd really like you, and it might vary depending on your position within your organization, the size of your organization, of course. And so thinking about this will a lot depend on your organization and your position. But for example, let's think about a specific example. So we're going back to the example of changing up homework time. So maybe we want to try a few different styles. We decide that we want to try it later in the day. So we can ask the kids, hey, how did this go? Maybe we didn't even ask. We can ask them to get some feedback. We can ask the parents for some feedback. We can see how much more homework they get done. We can see, all right, so we know that Johnny was really struggling to finish his math homework when we had homework during that first part of the day, but now we see at the earlier part of the day, he's finishing all of his math homework with time to spare. So that's something to see. However, we see that Susan is really struggling to finish her reading, which she used to do with no problem at all. So we're continuously getting feedback. We're seeing how those changes are being made by asking our customers or whoever's getting that feedback. For that same example, we might ask parents, hey, did you notice that we've changed our homework time? How is that? Have you seen any changes with your kids? Have you liked that? Have you not liked that? You could send home a survey if that's something that would be easy. You could put a little note on your sign-out sheet. Have you liked this change? Yes or no? So think about asking for that feedback, because they're going to be the ones who tell you whether this is working or not. Here we have the 4 integrated disciplines of the lean methodology. We have delivering value and value efficiently to the customer. That means that you're understanding what the customers truly value. So that might be thinking about, what do parents really want from your program, or what do the kids really want from your program? And of course, we're understanding that what the kids want might be a little different than what they need at that point in time, of course, but we're keeping in mind that they need to have a safe and a fun place to be. So keeping in mind that they do need that gross motor time each day, and that they do need some free choice, and that maybe they do need some time to work on their homework and some help with that. We're also enabling people to lead and contribute to their fullest potential. And so organizations that get the most from their people uh, will provide them to make the most changes. So you need to enable your team to develop some of these new ideas, and to fail fast and continuously learn. So give your staff the ability to come up with some new ideas to try. Maybe one of your staff says, hey, I've been thinking, and I really think that maybe we should move the blocks area and the dramatic play area. I've noticed that, the blocks are kind of getting in the way of the movement center. So could we try that? Sure, let's try it out. If it's not too burdensome, let's switch it up, try it for a week, and see how it goes. So enable your team to really be part of this concept. Also, connecting strategy, goals, and meaningful purpose. So this is really going back to thinking about always having your mission in mind, and thinking about what your goal really is for your program, and keeping that at the forefront, and making sure that you're giving that mission and that value a clear piece of your program, and making sure that's your end goal at all times. And then always discovering better ways of working. Problem identification should become part of everybody's job description, and supported by structures. So that support can become part of a discussion at staff meetings. It can become part of everybody's just job description. It can become something that you say to people at orientation, saying, this is something that we do here at our program, that everybody is encouraged to think about how we can continuously improve. And I just want to make that clear up front, that you're always welcome to come to me and share your new ideas. So the Lean Startup Method was created for high-tech startups out in Silicon Valley, which seems almost as far from out-of-school time programs as I can imagine. But I think it is an incredibly valuable idea to bring to out-of-school time, and really think about within your program. The 4 disciplines that we just discussed are really great to really integrate in your program, because there's something about continuous quality improvement, which is something that we really talk about a lot within out of school time, especially here in Massachusetts, and bringing your whole team on board to saying, what is it that we can improve? And, it's okay if we try and fail, especially if it's something small. Let's try it out. Let's try something new. And we can ask the kids to see, did you like that new activity? Let's try it. You're probably already doing a lot of this already. If you have a new idea for a theme, do you just plan a whole year's worth of it and then just run with it? Or do you kind of try out a few activities first and see, oh, did this capture the kids' interests? No? All right, well, maybe let's change it up a little bit. Or yes, okay, great, let's run with it. So you're probably already doing this. But the lean business concept is a really great way for you to think about how you can really take your customers' interests, the kids, the families, the communities, and really take that into account, and work it into your programming, and not be afraid to try new things. Because that's a lot of times where we get our best new ideas, and how we make those great new improvements in our program. So if you have any questions about the lean business model, feel free to contact me or take some time to look it up online. There are some great books, great resources available if you're looking for some more information.